Karen and I come as a double act. We've worked together for lots of years at Grange Park, and we have developed the hub. And what I'd like to say is this is really a model that works for us in our area, and it's very local for us. It's a small hub within Telford and Wrekin. Other hubs are beginning to develop as part of the local authority, but we started when the DFE gave us some money in as part of the hub project. It's based around the primary school, but it's not for the primary school. It's a hub around the park. Telford Town Park is quite a wide area, so we link in with childminders, PVI settings, other primary schools, playgroups, and we have a really cool group of people now that have worked with us for a number of years, and we're on a journey, and as it says, this is our journey so far. We haven't finished. We've begun our journey and we're just going along it, and we develop every time. We have meetings, and I think every year. So I hope it's useful for you to take anything that will work for you. Really, we were keen. Why did we choose to become a hub? And I think we were very keen that we wanted to build relationship with the local people in our area. We knew there were childminders out there. We knew there were other settings out there. We've got a 60-place nursery in our school. And we knew that with the 30-hour offer coming as well, that we were going to have to build something that was going to be sustainable for us and something that would meet the needs of the children and the parents within our area of Sturtley in Telford. And we wanted to offer a one-stop shop for parents. Parents were saying to us, we find it really hard to go through the local authority website and find a childminder locally, or find a setting locally, or find where there are spaces locally. So what we wanted to do was to try and develop something that was local for us, for all our parents. And we wanted to, one of the main drivers was to be ready for the 30-hour offer. And we feel through being a hub, we were much more prepared than lots of other schools and PVI settings within Telford and Wrekin. So as a hub, we knew there were three things we wanted to develop. It's not just about providing that flexible offer, it's about how can we improve the quality within our provision as well. And also we were very concerned about the places for 2-year-olds, because we were concerned if we take on all these children, what about the places for 2-year-olds? So that was one of the things we were very mindful of. We were very keen that this was a partnership. I coordinate it, but it's a partnership. We've got very respectful relationships. Everybody has an equal say. But you do, I think, if you are thinking of doing a hub, and the hub's out there, I think you need someone who's got the time and perhaps the commitment and enthusiasm just to drive it. Because I have time, I have to ring people, I have to email people, I have to set up meetings. You need somebody really that will keep driving it forward. And at the moment, I can do that until I retire. We were just talking about that, actually. We also wanted a very clear strategy for early education and childcare within the Sturtley area. We wanted to promote better outcomes for children. We also wanted to look at seamless transitions. We're very keen that when we started the hub, that we built up transitions into school. But what we want to do is see those seamless transitions through the day, from setting to setting, and also into school. And we also wanted to make sure that we had this very accessible information for parents so they could come on. And I'll show the website in a minute. We did develop a website so that they could click on it and see what we had. And so people could access the 30-hour offer as well. Priorities for our model: no dominant sector, equal partnership, and we felt that was really important. And I think that's why we've kept the model that we've got, and I think we've kept the people and the members of our partnership. I think that's why it's been so successful. Planned transition work, we planned as a hub. Quality provision, as I've said. And shared training and resources. We do lots of shared CPD. And because we've got a school with a big school hall and we've got the nursery, for us it became sustainable because we don't have to pay any extra costs for the school. I can open and lock up. So we do our meetings at 6:30 at night, and we always have done. But again, that's a model that works for us. And also, that's something to do with the goodwill from our foundation stage staff, which you were talking about, that they all buy into this because they see it as such an important thing for our school, but for our area. So it is about goodwill as well, but they all buy in, and it means all the local childminders can come at 6:30 because they've finished, and also the PVI sectors. So we get people coming to every meeting, which is great. We also support vulnerability and SEND as well. We're very conscious that when children come in, from other settings, from childminders. We need as much information about them as we can, and also when they go into school, and that has been a huge bonus from our hub. So it's based around Grange Park Primary School. We have at the moment 9 we've got 7 childminders and 2 that are being trained at the moment, and they have become childminders just for our hub. What we needed was people that we thought were local to us that could actually help us provide a flexible offer for 30 hours for parents, and that's exactly what we're building up. We've got 2 that are in training at the moment, and we're very lucky that Telford and Wrekin will offer training, and they work with us, so they'll come and provide information sessions at our school for parents in the area to look at the opportunities to become childminders. And 4 people recently were 4 parents who have now become childminders and are working with us on the 30-hour offer. We have, and we created a website together as well. We wanted to do that, which is linked to our school website, but it links to everybody else's website in the hub. Karen's just going to show you, and keep your fingers crossed it works. This is our website.
What we actually had to do was we had to make sure that everybody that was involved on the website, all our childminders were involved, and they all, we then made sure that everybody was, so if we go to Brookside Preschool, they did a little bit, they all did their own little bit. They've got all their staffing on there, and then we also sent the person who did the website, Ryan, he did a little video of the of each setting. So it means that all our parents have access of that through our own Grange Park site. So
just gives a bit of a flavour for settings if people are looking. There's childminders, but obviously we got permission from all the children and all the parents to do this before we did it, but at least it gives you a flavour when you're looking. It gives you an idea perhaps before you want to go and have a look. It just gives a flavour of the school or the preschool or the childminder.
And our parents were really, especially in our area, they would go straight to Telford and Wrekin if they wanted to find a childminder, and then they would have a list of 45 childminders, 50 childminders, and then they would have to phone them up individually, and then they would have no spaces. Whereas on our site we have immediate information about how many places are available at each setting, each childminder, how many places they have, and we update those really regularly as to how many places they have. So if somebody loses 2 children, it means they just get in touch with the website person, and then he just puts on and says that there are 2 places available, so that all our parents have got immediate access to our own community providers.
Yeah. It is also linked to Telford and Wrekin's list as well, so if they want to go straight to that, there's a link that takes it straight to that as well if they need wider afield. That's been a really good development for us, I think, hasn't it? So just thinking about the website, you can read that. We've developed this, and we are still developing it. We haven't finished doing this, but it just gives all the information so parents can make informed choices when they're looking at what they want for their children, if they're looking for the 30-hour offer or 15 hours, or what's available in the local area. And I think for us in our hub, what it's been about is not competition. And I think that's because of the relationships that we've built up as part of the hub, that we don't feel we're in competition with anybody. We're very much about the children's needs and the parents' needs. And if it works better somewhere else, it works better somewhere else for the parents' needs. So really, and I think for some people that's hard because you've got to have a financial model. For us in the school, obviously we do have to look at numbers, and we've had very long discussions about our numbers and whether we don't take 30 hours at the moment because we're not really set up for 30 hours. It's something we are thinking about developing, but we work very much with our private and voluntary and our childminders who actually give us that blended offer, and that for us is working at present.
And we do have the issue that we are two form empty schools. We have 60 children. Yeah. We have 60 children in the nursery and 60 children that would go into our school. So if we offer 30 hours, we're going to have some of those children that will not have places in the nursery, so they will just access from somewhere else. So our head teacher was very aware of the fact that he wanted to keep all of our children. Yeah. And so that was initially one of our main objectives of setting up the hub.
We're very keen as well that we know that one of the main things is the quality of provision. So shared CPD for us and shared working has been a real thing we've developed. in that staff from the childminders come and access our environment. The childminders will come and do training with us or come and spend a day with us. Also, we go to them and we see what they're doing. So it's very much a shared experience because they've got a lot to tell us as well. And also we're looking at setting up sort of shared exchange of staff so that our staff can go into PVI settings and PVI staff can come into our settings. That's our next sort of wave of what we're looking at developing. We share learning journeys. We are doing things like moderation now, so everybody will bring their learning journeys and the tracking that they've got, and we have a discussion around very open about let's look at what you think a 30 to 50 looks like and which area of learning. And because we've got these relationships, we're really building that up. People are quite happy to bring and share. And then we bring our reception books and say, well, this is what we're doing in reception and this is where the children are getting to from your starting point. And it's just a real sharing, but we do moderate and we do challenge each other. And I think that has come from these mutual relationships we've built up. We are actually looking, and we'll say in a minute, about a tracking document. And I was interested to hear about the online, the digital one that Sarah said about. That's our next step. We're looking at a tracking document that we can track children across so that we can look at outcomes for children and also link it into our reception classes as well when you look at the EYFSP at the end of reception.
And share it with parents.
Yeah,
and the
absolutely.
providers.
Yeah. Thanks, Karen. But we also want to think about our 2-year-olds because we know that within our area there aren't many places available. So we were very keen to think how can we make sure that we've got sufficiency for these disadvantaged 2-year-olds that need to come in. What we've done as a school is our nursery now takes rising 3s, which actually then freed up a bit more space in some of our settings to take the younger 2-year-olds. And again, our next step we're looking at is we are an academy school. We've got a secondary school next to us who's got spare rooms. Our next thought is possibly that we can look at, because childminders can do some working on premises, we're going to look at whether in fact there is a way that we can develop this a bit more by using the spaces that are available, because we've got no space in our local secondary school. But for us, and I think this is part of our sort of presentation, childminders are key for us. Childminders have been fantastic in supporting our offer for 30 hours. And often parents have said they prefer the children, they're quite happy for them to be in nursery or somewhere in the morning, but they do, and they talk about that homely environment for children in the afternoon or in the morning whenever the children come, that it's a different. So we work very closely with childminders. They also provide before and after care, but that's not what they just provide. They provide 15 hours as well. And they deliver the entitlement in partnership with us, and we're looking at sharing different spaces with them. Okay. So we've got 7 childminders at the moment, 2 more in training, and as I say, Telford and Wrekin are really good at helping us with the training that we can do locally for parents to train as childminders. We did talk to a childminder. We wanted to video him, but he wasn't sure he wanted to be videoed. So he came and talked to me, and in a minute you'll see that this is some of our nursery environment that we've built up. We're a new school. We've only been open 11 weeks. So we had a brand new build. So we've been developing our outside environment. And what we do is, because our environment's quite large, the childminders come and access it one morning a week or one afternoon a week. And the PVIs will bring a group of children over and access it, because they always haven't got access to the environment that we've got. We're very lucky with the environment. This is what Mick is, one of our childminders, and this is what Mick said about, he's been with us since the start of the Hub project, and he said the 30-hour offer works well in the Hub. Grange Park are very supportive of childminders. There's an ongoing commitment to continue to develop our offer through joint documentation and shared planning, and childminders can provide the flexibility. They may want hours in different ways. Parents, he's got one little girl who actually he will bring to nursery, but then he'll pick her up at lunchtime. And 2 days a week he keeps her longer, so mum picks up at 6. 2 days a week mum wants to pick up at lunchtime, so he just takes her home and gives her lunch and mum picks it up. It works for the parent, but also for him it's working because he can then take on another child in the afternoon. So there are different models that are being sort of explored through our model, for our Hub model. But what really has been really key for us as well are these transitions. And they're seamless for children. when we talked about this, you want to view the day or the week or the year or the transition through their early years life through the eyes of a child, and what it should be is seamless for them. So once we've built those relationships, we have really in-depth conversations about children. We meet, they bring their, parents will bring things in, the childminders will bring things in. So before the children even walk through our door, we've gauged some of what the children are like. Have they got any additional needs? What do we need to provide for that child? And our reception teachers find that incredibly useful before the children come into school as well. And we've developed that as part, but not us. We've developed that in partnership with childminders and settings. What do you think you need before the children come to school? What is it you'd like us to provide for you? And what would you like to talk about the children? So we've developed a model with them. So you can see what we do. We've got orientation visits, transition visits, but we've also got booklets we've done as a hub. And also we've got a teddy bear which goes to all the settings with the children, the Grange Park teddy, that children make their own. I was going to bring one today and I left him behind. Children can then bring it into school as that transition object, and that was something that we developed through our hub model as well. There's a little picture, I think.
The reception teachers actually take that bear out to the different settings within our hub. So they'll make an appointment with a childminder, and the reception teacher will actually go out and meet the child within that setting or into the PBI, and they take the teddy with them, so then the children then bring it in whenever they have their first induction session. So that's just the initial point that a point of access that they have with the school.
There's the teddy. Children can actually put their name on the back of it as well, so it becomes theirs. So really ensuring consistency of provision, these are the things we do. I've talked about it, so I won't reiterate it, but we are developing a tracking document for across the hub, so you can see children's journey during a day, but also so we can look at outcomes at the end of reception. So our journey so far, we have got parents that have taken up the 30-hour offer. We weren't sure how many were going to, but they have. Staff have assisted parents to fill in the lines. We've got some EAL, we've got quite a large Ghanaian community in Telford, and they actually came in and said, can you help us? So we've been helping them to actually fill it in. 6 families at present have taken up the offer, and they're accessing a blended childcare offer. We have sufficiency now for rising 3s in nursery. Other parents we've also got accessing as well, because they're doing college courses and they can get some funding. So again, that's another model that we again can offer through the hub if parents look at that, because they do get some funding for their college course. We've got children that are accessing Breakfast Club as part of the offer, because that's what parents wanted to bring them into nursery. And again, we've got nursery staff then that go into our Breakfast Club and then bring them through into our nursery. That's all part of their offer, because parents wanted to pick them up slightly earlier, which was fine. Karen takes children over. We've got a preschool setting which is literally just across the car park from us, and you see them go out at lunchtime in their little train, and we take them over to the next setting and actually go in and settle them in. Similarly, the staff from that setting will come and bring them back to us or come over to us and collect them, so that's working really well. And we set up meetings with childminders so that parents, if they are considering a childminder, one of the nursery staff will actually go and meet the childminder with the parent, or will invite the childminder into nursery to meet the parent with us, and vice versa. Okay. And this is a parent's perspective. This is Lydia, and again, Lydia didn't want to be videoed. We did try, but we had a phone conversation with Lydia. Lydia's got a little girl who's just started with us in nursery, and she's taken the 30-hour offer, and what she said was it's working really well. 15 hours in the nursery and 15 hours with a childminder. And she said it's the best of both worlds for me and for Georgia. The nursery was recommended to her, that was our nursery, and then the nursery recommended the childminders. I was very grateful for the help, and I'm happy with the arrangements. Georgia's very settled, and it has been a really positive experience for us both. I chose a childminder alongside nursery as I felt Georgia needed something different and more homely in the afternoon. So I just think that's just a flavour of what some of the parents are saying and how important childminders are within our 30-hour offer. Next steps for us, you can read these really, just to continue to develop our offer for 30 hours, To continue to build up a bank of childminders, we still need more, and we are encouraging people, if they're thinking about it, to look at training, to ensure that all information's up to date, and so that they can make informed decisions about their child's, the offer that they want, that suits their needs. We've got to review our transition booklet, and we are developing the planning and tracking tool. And we need to monitor in our changing community, really, how things are working, and talking to parents about how they feel it's working. And really the main priority is that children's and parents' experience is seamless, of a high quality, and we can offer the best we can to meet their needs. Karen's got a really good example actually of a couple of parents, because I know sometimes we were talking about competition. Well, you've had a couple of examples just recently, haven't you, Karen, that you just wanted to share, really?
Yeah, we've been working with the people within our hub for 2 years, and so initially, when we were just the school and they were the childminder or the PVI, it was all, they were very worried that we were going to steal their children. And I think building up the relationships that we have done over the last couple of years, we had a parent came in this week and she had twins, and she gets 15 hours, and she said that she wanted 2.5 days, and we offered her, we offer 5 mornings, 5 afternoons. And so I was able to say, well, look, literally across the car park, or I've got other childminders who can offer those other sessions, so she can come to us for 3 mornings and then go to either the childminder or the PBI for 2 afternoons, those twins. Now, that wouldn't have happened a couple of years ago, because it would have been, I would have said, well, actually we offer 5 sessions and that's it. And also, we've got a childminder who came in, who we work very closely with, and she's got a little child who she has for 15 hours. We have 15 hours in the morning, she has 15 hours in the afternoon. She said that she thinks that the mum's going to lose the funding. And she said, and I know she's got a 12-week cooling off period, so she said, well, she doesn't find another job. She said, I've been talking to the mum about it, and she said, and we both agreed that she's so settled at nursery, and she's starting school next September, that she can stay with it, that I would like her to stay with the nursery. And I said, well, that's fine. It doesn't make any difference to us, really. Just as long as you and mum have had that conversation, and I'll talk to mum about it. And I did talk to mum about it, and mum said that Sue's fine about the childminder. So again, it's about having those conversations, about building up those relationships. Sue has been working with us for 2 years, and it's not a case of, oh, she's just stolen one of my children. And so I think it is about those relationships, and us being a shared hub, with everybody having their input within the hub.
I think relationships for us has been absolutely key. Trust in relationships has been key, and I think that's what's helped us on our 30-hour journey, definitely, and will continue to help us on our journey, which we know hasn't finished yet. We hope that has been a help. As I say, it's our model. It won't work for everyone. It's working for us in Telford and in our area. So thanks for listening. There is on the presentation our emails if you want to get in touch, and also the Hub website address. So if you want to have a little more look, please do at your leisure. Okay, thanks for listening.